Alright everybody, hi, welcome to the seminar. So this is the Maximal Human Primitive Astrological Evidence-Based Advanced Motor Neural Pathway Athletic Development Institute. So if this is your first time, welcome. It's great to have you here. So obviously in nature, right, movement's very different. The way humans have evolved to do certain movements is very different to what we've been taught, in this traditional sort of, barbell gym culture, right?
Functional.
When our ancestors were in hunter-gatherer tribes, were they using barbells? No, exactly. Humans have not evolved with a barbell or a dumbbell, so why would we use it now?
Natural movement.
Guys, I just want to make sure that we're unlearning these terrible movements that we've been taught, our whole life. Just make sure we're detraining them and training ourselves with these new, more enlightened movement patterns that are just far superior in every way.
Athleticism.
The modern day footwear is just ruined. It's just deteriorating the natural movement pattern. Like in nature, there are no shoes. There are no shoes in nature. So, eccentric isometrics. The squat is just such an unnatural movement.
Athleticism.
So, have we got any questions? Yeah, I've got a question. Yeah, you. What do you think's better, dumbbells or kettlebells? The kettlebell is clearly superior to a dumbbell. Yeah, question over here. How can you blatantly say that kettlebells are just better than dumbbells? Like, isn't there a bit more nuance in that? I mean, a kettlebell is clearly so much more athletic than a dumbbell. Yeah, what do you mean by more athletic? Like, that's a pretty broad, general term. Doesn't really give much information about a particular movement or training style. The sagittal plane. Also, you've said a couple times that things that are more natural are better. I mean, there are plenty of things that are natural that are bad, like diseases. Ah, yes, but that's only because the government puts fluoride in the water. Yes. You think diseases are caused by fluoride in the water? You haven't read the same research papers I've read. I've read hundreds. Yeah, I've done research too. No, but the ones I read are better. Okay. Alright guys, in this video I'm just going to be doing a little review of the Nike Training Club and just give my thoughts on it. Okay, so the Nike Training app has hundreds of workouts on it that range from strength workouts to cardio workouts to even mobility or flexibility workouts. The workouts are circuit style workouts with the workouts having set rest and work periods. So they might have an exercise, 30 seconds work, 10 seconds rest, next exercise, 30 seconds work. And that's basically the format that all these workouts have. The app also has a plans feature where it will develop a program for you based on your preferences and things that you've just told the app. So I'm just going to get straight into the cons or the problems I see with the app. So although I just mentioned that they do have the programs that are developed with the plans feature, these programs, these plans are really just sort of workouts that are already in the actual app that have just been picked and just put into some like generalized sort of goal. So if you say to the app, oh, I want to do, or I'm a beginner, so I'm startup, you click just starting, and then you go, okay, I want to work out 2 to 3 times a week. I normally work out this amount of time. Whatever, answer the other questions that it gives you. And it'll tell you, okay, here's your like 10-week or whatever program, this many workouts. And then it'll just give you the list of workouts. It'll just give it to you, and then you just click it, start, do it, and you can tick it off, and the next one tick it. But it's not like they're like super unique workouts, and they're just things that you could otherwise just go into the app and just pick the workouts yourself and just do them whenever. So although I think it is a really good feature that they have the plans and they have the programs, so it's good for people that are beginners that like maybe don't want to think about it and just want to let the app just tell them what to do. It's not like it's a periodized, like properly like customized thing. It's just sort of yeah. So another problem with the app is that when I was doing one of the workouts, there was a section called athleticism, right? And so it was just so I'd done the warm up and it just did the basic warm up movements, and then it went to this next section. I thought, okay, this is the actual workout now, and then it had these movements, these in and out steps, what they call them, all the like running steps, and I thought, oh, hang on a minute, wait, is this like I thought for a second, I'm still in the warm up because these were like these little like jumping step, and on the video it's just someone just stepping, and I thought, and then I looked at the workout, and I'm like, oh wait, no, this is athleticism, right? So that just kind of just seemed like a bit of a problem to me because obviously athleticism, if you're going to call your section athleticism and then you have the person running on the spot and jumping around, that's not necessarily what athleticism is. Just because someone's moving like very quickly, or they're running or jumping or doing something with any level of coordination, doesn't make it athleticism, right? I'd probably say doing push-ups, like just straight up push-ups, which is one of the most simple movements that you can possibly do with just body weight, is probably more athletic than doing these little running, skipping in and out things, they call them, right? So it wasn't terrible, but it kind of, like the warm-up was actually more challenging than that whole section of athleticism, and then it went into like the jumps, the A step things, and that whole section was probably like almost 5 minutes of just like a rest, really. So I'd done the warm-up, and I'm like, okay, I want to get into this section, and it was meant to be like a cardio endurance sort of workout, like pretty fast-paced, high intensity, and then it's just this section where it's just like skipping and running on the spot, and it's a bit silly.
These little jumps can be a good exercise, but just not when used in this context. If it was being used for some potentiation effects for some other movement, it might be good, however.
So it's just kind of silly movements like that, where it's just like, it's kind of annoying actually, because you're there and you want to do like a proper hard, intense workout, but then it tells you to do little skippy things, and it's just, yeah, I didn't like that. Another problem with the app is that, like, I kind of understand when they do this from like a marketing perspective, like they have workouts, so they say, oh, this is a strength workout, and then this is like endurance, and this is cardio, and I understand all that, but it kind of gives off this a little bit of impression of like it's sort of over promising a lot of these things. So to say, oh, this is like strength yoga, and it has, or this is a strength workout, and it's just like push ups and like stuff to anyone that's been training for a decent amount of time would think is just like really easy movements. But they've said, oh, it's strength. It's like, well, like if you go into so you can go to a section where you say no equipment, so you can do no equipment workouts, and then it's like, oh, strength, no equipment workouts with strength, and it's like, well, I mean, you certainly can like build up strength like with calisthenics, but if you've got no equipment, so just a floor, like, and you're calling it like a strength workout, like it's a bit misleading. Like I understand, like obviously if you're a complete beginner, that's just as good as, and it doesn't really matter like what you're calling it, if it's strength, it's like it doesn't matter. It's like if you're doing push-ups, yeah, that's strength, I guess, if that's, but it's just a bit weird saying like, oh yeah, you can do strength workouts, and then like obviously the nature of these workouts is this circuit thing, right? So it's like 30 seconds work, 10 seconds rest, or like a minute work. The nature of that obviously isn't going to be optimal for building maximal strength or even really building muscle. It's really more of like a conditioning sort of cardiovascular, maybe muscular endurance. So it's saying strength, but I know that might not be what they mean. They might mean strength in more of a more of the like yoga sense, which is like I totally fine, I guess.
So to just illustrate that point a bit more, this workout here was called tank top ready arms or something like that. So it's obviously trying to target people who want to grow muscle in their arms, in particularly. To me, that sounds like, oh yeah, this targeted. This is for the goal of hypertrophy, right? And as you can see from the workout, it's not exactly ideal. Like, yes, okay, you've got the lateral raises and the isolation moves with the dumbbells, which is, I guess, classic bodybuilding stuff. But the nature of it, where it's 30 seconds working and then next exercise, and then mountain climbers, obviously this is not going to work. How are you supposed to overload in this? How are you supposed to progress? Yeah, I suppose you could just use heavier dumbbells every time you do it, but what's to stop you from just doing less reps in the allotted time, And then it goes to hammer curls, and the person here, as you can see, I know it's just for demonstration, but clearly not using a weight that's going to be stimulating at all, really. I know that's a bit harsher because that's obviously just demonstration, but still, how are people supposed to know how hard they're supposed to train, how intense. Kickbacks, completely useless exercise. So that's just poor exercise selection on that. But anyway, yeah, that's just that. Obviously, if you're using this app for, for like bodybuilding purposes, obviously that's not good. But I don't think a lot of people are using that for this. But anyway.
So the things I actually really like about the app, obviously if it's something that's new to you, like for me when I was doing these workouts, it was quite new. I didn't normally do things like this, and I was doing it because just recently Sydney gone into another lockdown, and I can't go to a gym, so I was like, okay, so I thought maybe I'd do something a little bit different with my training, try these like circuit style workouts. So it is good for that, and so lockdown workouts is good for that. And it is something different. It's good conditioning stimulus. Like if you because these workouts, because it is like the circuit style of it, it means that you can actually get like a pretty hard, intense workout in a relatively short amount of time with like no equipment. So you don't need to be like using lots of like equipment, lots of weights. Like if you have nothing, like you can. There are some really good workouts. Like I was going to a bit skeptical. Like okay, these no equipment workouts, like how good can they be really? Like if you got no equipment at all. But these workouts are actually very good. And because the nature of the circuit workouts where it's work rest, you can actually just go really hard, and you actually will end up getting really tired at the end of it, even if it's like easy exercises, because it's just like okay, do as many as you can in 30 seconds, or go as hard as you can for this amount of time. You will eventually like get tired, and it will be good.
Just a side note with that, just because I say it makes you tired, obviously that's not evidence for like an effective workout. There are plenty of things you can do that'll make you tired, that don't offer a good stimulus, that won't result in good training outcomes. But in this case, I just meant these workouts have the ability to make you tired in a good way, as in like it'll be stressing your cardiorespiratory system. Anyway.
So another good thing about the app is the variety of the workouts. So there's workouts that go from like 5 minutes, which is probably not really a workout. It's more of like that's very beginner. But yeah, from like 5 minutes all the way up to I think almost an hour, 45 minutes. So that's good. So there's a massive range of the workouts in terms of like the duration of the workouts. There's also, you can also say if you want workouts with no equipment required, minimal equipment, and then like full gym. Like I said, there's the strength workouts, which is more, like push-ups, kind of more of like a calisthenics sort of thing. And there's the cardio, the endurance, the mobility workouts, or routines, which I think is really good. And I think just the overall setup, the way the app's made, the way they have when you're in the workout and you're doing it, they have the video of the actor or the model doing the exercise. You can see exactly how it's done with correct form and all that. And then they have the timing, so you can see the exact duration. It doesn't just show you the duration of doing it, it actually goes through a timer, and there's like a beeping noise, and then you finish with the next section, blah, 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 all that. Now of course the best thing about this app probably is that it's completely free. So although there might be some problems with it and some slight things here and there, some of the workouts aren't so good maybe, at the end of the day it is actually completely free to get and use. So there's really like nothing to lose from getting. You might as well get it and give it a try, and if you don't like it, you can just uninstall it. I think that it's going to be worth a lot of you to try it, because I know for certainly myself, it might seem like some of the workouts are too easy, or like burpees this, push-ups this, that seems like it's very beginner, I've been training for a few years or whatever, I'm past that. But I think you'd be surprised, like the way the workouts are structured and the way that circuit style of training, I think it'd surprise you how difficult that can actually be, and how much room you can actually improve with those sorts of things. Anyway guys, so thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.